Places even like arcades across the state now able to reopen, and one popular spot close to home ready to welcome guests back for the first time tonight. Ashley Gonzalez checked up on things over at Dave & Buster's over at La Palmera Mall for us today.
Dave & Buster's officially opened to the public this week, but when you walk through these doors, expect some new rules and a change in scenery. With sanitizing stations at every corner, limited access to games, and fewer tables, Dave & Buster's is playing it safe. General Manager Nathan Schneider-Smith says the safety of employees and customers is still the #1 priority, all while providing a memorable experience.
Anything that is a solo game, we've closed off sections next to it to make sure that people aren't standing directly next to each other when they're playing these single-player games. It's been awesome to see everyone coming in and enjoying themselves and enjoying the atmosphere and enjoying there being people around them but not being crowded by people.
The manager also said there will be an employee sanitizing surface areas immediately after use. Reporting from Dave & Buster's, Ashley Gonzalez, 3 News.